Hi, I'm Melinda with Martin Publishing Services, and today I'm going to talk about your publisher logo. When you choose to self-publish, you have two options. You can use the free ISBNs that Amazon and other platforms make available to you, or should I say free? Nothing in life is free. Haven't we all learned that by now? So when it's free, that means the person allowing you to use that ISBN, somebody had to buy it. If you didn't buy it, you are using someone else's purchased property. So I don't recommend using the free ISBN because I like to be 100% in control of all of my projects, especially if you are pursuing publishing as a career. It's just best to own everything that you can yourself. So when you set up, when you choose to purchase your own ISBNs in America, you can only do that through one company, and that's Bowker. I have a article on my website, how to set up your self-publishing company on Bowker, and this ties in with the publishing logo lesson because when you set up your account, you do have to put in your name, but then you also, down here at the bottom, you have to give yourself a company name. Now you can just put your name in there if you want to, or if you want to come up with something creative, a business name to use in your business, then this is where that will go. Now this article covers, you can file a DBA. Everybody does different things, and everybody has a different way of doing things. Like some people are extremely thorough. Some people are just, what's the minimum I need to do this? So the article kind of covers that. You can go read that. So for Dane Owen, for his book Ramshackle Row and his forthcoming books, he opted to go with Black Cat Books, which fits his genre. So when you put whatever you put in company name right here, when you set your book up on KDP or Ingram Spark, it's going to ask for your imprint name. Now Ingram Spark pulls it somehow in another screen from it's separate from your book setup. But with KDP, you have to actually type in the imprint name that you're setting that matches your ISBN. So you have to type it in exactly like what it says right there. If you have a comma, it needs a comma. If it has comma LLC period, then whatever you typed in here has to match exactly, or they will decline your book. Okay, so on Dane's book, you can see if you scroll down to product details, it says publisher Black Cat Books. So we needed to create him a logo that represents Black Cat Books. Ideally, logos will be created in Illustrator because it is a vector-based program, which means it can scale to any size without loss as long as you set the file up correctly. Whereas with Photoshop, you can only scale down without loss, not up. So if you don't set your file up correctly to begin with, then you have to either recreate it if you want to go larger, or not go larger. Okay, so for Dane's book here, we have Black Cat Books, and let me show you where all the publisher logo is used. Okay, so let's see. I did not create his cover in Photoshop. I just have it pulled up as the RGB JPEG in Photoshop. I created it in InDesign. Now I did use Photoshop to do my composite work, but the compilation was done in InDesign, and then I export it from there out to PDF for the different print platforms. But so your publisher logo is used on the spine, it's used on the back cover, and then it's also used inside on the copyright page. This is actually a half title page, and then we have a full title page here. I was a little out of order. Okay, let me go back. Half title page is first, then the copyright page, then the full title page. All right, so those are all the areas that your logo is used on the particular book project. Of course, you can use it on your website, you can use it on marketing materials, whatever. But since the purpose of the logo, where it's used, is usually in small, inconspicuous spaces, the logo has to be designed, it has to be a very, it does not need to be very detailed, because the details will get lost because it's small. Because the places it's used is small. So if you make it very detailed, those are going to be lost anyway. So no need to waste time on that. All right, so the logo was created in Illustrator, and when you create the logo, or when your designer is creating the logo, besides keeping it streamlined, simplified, which simple is, it's funny in the design community, whether, like, my husband makes custom knives, I make books, you know, other people make different things in our community, and simple is like a joke, because simple is often the most difficult, because everything has to be perfect. So now you know. When I say simple, I don't mean easy. It just, the design is simple. It's presented simply. The concept isn't simple, or the work isn't simple. Okay, so for Dane's logo, and for any logo that I design, we have it in Illustrator as a vector image. We need to be able to change that logo's color. We need to be able to change the text color. Like you can see here, the logo for Dane's book is yellow, and for the future book I'm working on, he's got another book we're working on, I may change it to a different color. Like for the design of Ramshackle Row, when I used the black logo there, well, it didn't stand out enough. When I used the white logo, it stood out too much. And so we compromised with the yellow. It looks great. It fits the palette. It stands out just enough. And so you need to have a logo that you can change the color of. You need to have a logo that's designed on a transparent background, so that it's not in a white box on the design. I see that a lot, and I'm like, no. So in addition to having a yellow cat with a solid, do I have that? Hold on, let me look. Let me turn this on. I can't remember. Okay, so what we did is, this logo actually has the ear triangles, the inside ears is actually in negative space, so that when I change the background color, it changes the color of the inside of the ear. So I have this set up a few different ways. So we do have it as negative space in the ears, and then we have like one variation where the text is not negative space, where you can change the color. So you can have the text color is separate than the background color. But I also have a black logo version. Okay, that's set up the same as the yellow one. Okay, this is my negative space. Then I have one here that is a negative space, like the whole thing is just negative. So if I change the background color, that's changing inside the ears, and it's changing the text to whatever I set the background color to, because it is cut out, basically, is what that's called. All right, and then I have a layer that has just the live text on it. So maybe he wants to change the font choice. Maybe he wants to add something, or maybe the spacing needs to be adjusted. Well, if the text has been rasterized, or it can't be, or if it's been converted to an object, then you have to go back, find the font. Like, you always need to keep a layer of editable text, and then you can just hide it, lock it, whatever. All right, so I'm going to show you, let me see, what am I doing here? pop that back up. All right, so this is how to design a logo concept-wise, and now I'm going to pop in and show you another client who has a really cute logo, but she did not have her design file, and so all she had was an image. All she had was her logo on a white background to send me. So like there's no editable text layer. I had to crop out, I had to select all the white and remove it. It's not perfect. It looks good. I mean, just when I'm in here working, if I turn on that black layer, you could see how it's picking up little bitty bits of white. But we're not ever going to use this particular logo on a black background, so it works for what we need it to work for when it's in color. However, when I set it, I'm just going to pop this to black. You can see her logo is it's super cute, and the way that the bears were designed, they overlap, and so the colors blend. But when we set the whole thing to white, you can't distinguish that those are 7 separate bears. So that's an issue. Her logo needs to be redesigned, and she needs to get the original design files and then find a way to use the 7 bears so that, you see how like the ear is used, that's negative space on the ear right there. If I set that to black, see how behind the ear it's black. So really the option would be to outline the bear somehow, but they're too small here. They'd have to be redesigned a little bit. And I'm going to show you how this looks on the covers I've done for her. So on this cover, I mean, it looks good. I mean, no issue with it. The background color it just blends in enough with the logo so that you don't pick up on that white around it. And then here we have it on a pale background. I'm still working on this cover. We're going to change the font up, and then here we have it. But you can see, like on the spine, it's big. So I like to have a logo that works as a square and a rectangle. And now the Black Cats it's a circle, so it works. And I mean, we could, if we wanted to, put the text out to the side, still leave it on the cat's face, take the text off, just whatever we need to do for for however the design's going to be used. So hopefully that gives you some insight as to what's needed in a publishing logo and where it goes, and some design practices to use when you're designing or having a publisher logo designed. If you're my client and you don't have a logo, then it's a service that I offer since I'm already doing the project for you, and I want to make sure it's done correctly so that it's going to work with all of the files I'm creating. So working with me has those added, benefits of we're going to do it right, and it's going to look good, and you're going to be able to carry this design forward into other projects and have exactly what you need. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the flip side. Goodbye.